IVM.
Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach Podcast, the bite-sized podcast filled with quick and easy actionable habits. Remember, great habits create that awesome life. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach, and today's fun fact of the day has to do with manners. Did you know that it is impolite to eat while walking in Japan and in Italy? We were so used to walking here in India and America because, takeaway food or fast food is in fact a whole subculture here in itself. And it is a sign of our busy lives and the way we think about food as just something we need to get done with. A quick roll, a sandwich while we are on to a meeting somewhere. However, when I'd gone to Japan, there it was very impolite to walk and eat. If you bought some food at a food vendor, you would have to stand nearby, finish it, and then move on. Unless, of course, you were in one of those touristy streets in Osaka or somewhere. In Italy as well, it is rude to walk and eat, as this is seen as disrespecting the effort that was taken to make the food, disrespecting the ingredients in the food. You cannot be enjoying the meal if you're worried about where you have to be next. They take great pride in their food. And I want to share a story that happened recently. I was at my friend Samir Shetty's house for lunch. And his wife Aditi and him are super duper cooks. They love hosting and trying new different recipes. For dessert, they had made a panna cotta. Now, a panna cotta is an Italian dish which basically means a cooked cream. The dish has cream and gelatin and is cooked so that the silken texture is created. It's one of my favorite desserts. It's absolutely yum. She had made this coconut milk panna cotta and then she topped it with caramel and fish sauce. Yes, let me repeat that again. Caramel and fish sauce. When I heard this, I fell off my chair. I could not even imagine what that would be like. Fish sauce is one of the most pungent and smelly things on the planet. It's used in Asian cuisine, not in Italian cuisine. And here was a delicate, silky panna cotta. How is that going to ever work? So, full of fear, we put a tiny amount of that fishy caramel sauce in the panna cotta and tasted it. And I kid you not, it was one of the most divine things I had ever tasted. It was simply brilliant. Now, that is the thing about food, about cooking. Everything at some point of time must have sounded ridiculous to somebody else, must have sounded impossible till someone does it, tries it, and then makes it epic. As adults, we have lost our sense of wonder. We evaluate ideas too fast before we ever end up trying them out. Now imagine if Aditi had seen the recipe of a fish sauce caramel and said, nah, that is too funky. I am definitely not trying that. You see, the habit of creativity, it's all about moments like this. Seeing two things that have no similarity whatsoever and then wondering, what if? Creativity is born from those what if moments in life. The iPhone was born from a similar question. What if there was a phone with no buttons? Spider-Man was born from something just like that. Asking a question. What if a man could do everything a spider can? All the most creative things around you were born from asking the what if question. So your super simple habit to boost your creativity every single day starts by asking the question, what if? Join two things that clearly do not go together and ask the question, what if alligators could turn vegetarian? What if cars could talk? As adults, we are taught not to ask these questions. Stupid questions, we say. Instead, we focus on the reality of the world around us. And what a boring place that would be. Imagine the world would never, ever get to experience Aditi's panna cotta with a fish caramel sauce.
Usually in a podcast, it's me who speaks to you and you who listens. But I've been seeing your comments and it's time. It's me listening to you. Following the overwhelming success of this podcast, the good folks at IVM Podcast Network have decided to come up with a Kannada adaptation of the show. For those who prefer listening to it in that language, do make sure you let your Kannada speaking friends know about this as well.
Now, if you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I am at Ashdin Doc on Twitter and Instagram. We have a brand new habit coaching online course, quizzes, videos, and a lot more on the website awesome180.com. So check it out now.
Hello. It's been another great week on the IVM Podcasts Network. On Cyrus Says Cock and Bull, Cyrus, Shreyas, Abbas and Antariksh talk about the delay in Indigo flights as their crew called in sick on Air India Recruitment Day. On Postcards from Nowhere, Utsav tells us a fascinating story about the long room of the old library at Trinity College in Dublin. On All Things Policy, the Takshashila folk discuss immigration in India. On The Habit Coach, Ashdin tells us how to get rid of afternoon slumps. And on Smarter with Sid, Siddharth explores what a second skill is and how to identify one. Do not forget, IVM Podcast has just launched its merch and the first line is out now. Head to the IVM Podcast website, click on the shop tab to check out our first collection of t-shirts. Do follow us on social media. We are IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. Also, don't forget to rate us on any platform you're listening to. You can also check us out on YouTube. We're also doing a small listener survey to better understand how you respond to our shows and advertising on the network. We would really appreciate it if you could spare a few minutes to fill it. It helps us build better shows for you. And finally, we would like to thank our sponsors this week: Boat Lifestyle, Small Case, Cap Gemini, Intel vPro, and Intel. Future Banao Wonderful with Intel-powered laptops.
There's a quick survey to fill out on ivmpodcast.com/survey. It lets us know a little bit more about who's listening to us. And you know what? We're going to do a few prizes. So, we'll do a random drawing of maybe 10 people and we'll send you all some swag. Remember, that's ivmpodcast.com/survey where you can fill out the survey.